name's Will and welcome to the Distorted Transmission. Today I am talking to two people from a two-piece band called Empress. How are you guys?
Good.
Good, thanks.
Could you guys introduce yourselves for the benefit of the viewers?
So we're Empress. We're a two-piece alternative everything mishmash band.
Hi, my name is Laura, and my drug of choice is many fuzz pedals.
And g'day, I am Craig. I am the drummer and mover of stuff.
Awkward banter boy.
Yeah.
Awkward bands.
Bad microphones.
It did actually sound like you're about to kick off an AA meeting or something with that. First up, I guess I think you should probably tell me about the origins of the band, the concept and creation of it.
The origin, we were in a three-piece band called Cheshire Grim that started in about 2012. We did 2 records, numerous tours, Australian tours and things, opened for a lot of bigger artists. Our third member decided to call it quits after 7 years, in about 2018.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and we just kind of didn't want to replace her because it was such a big thing. So we just kept jamming, and we talked about getting another band member, but it just sort of didn't really eventuate, I suppose. Yeah, and so that's how we became a two-piece.
Yeah.
Everything from this band is original to this band. Like you didn't bring any music over from the previous.
Yeah, it's all either ideas that some of the ideas might have been around in the earlier band, but definitely have been reworked or changed, and we don't play any songs from Cheshire Grim now.
Brought it all over with us, and they kind of, I think, helped define us a little bit to start with, but we moved away from it pretty quick as we wrote new material.
Yeah, I think when we did that gig with Regurgitator, we played a Cheshire Grim song or 2 or 3 because we were really fresh at being a two-piece.
Yeah, really fresh.
Didn't have enough songs to fill up the set, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah.
Exactly.
I guess we should talk about your 6-track EP, Trash Dynasty. Could you tell me about the recording of it and how you write songs and that sort of thing?
Just a bit of a DIY recording effort, really. We did it all ourselves, no funding, anything like that. I mixed and mastered it because I'm an audio engineer by trade, so it made sense for the first record for it to be pretty DIY.
What about from Craig's side? Craig, did you sort of did you help at all, or did you just get told what to do, stand over here, do that? And
yeah, I lifted some stuff, I guess, moved some bits and pieces around. I played all my own drums, so that was a lot of work. No, I'm not. Laura's, professional tier quality of all this kind of stuff. So I try and make myself useful and get out of the way the rest of the time.
All right. So how did your past musical influences end up leading you to play in a two-piece rock band? I suppose that the shortest answer is somebody left and you ended up with 2 people. But
I think we should do a shout out to Hobos, Skinny Hobos, because we toured with them heaps in the old band, and they showed us that it was possible to do it as a two-piece, but also all of my bands have been super different in genre. I've been in death metal bands, I've been in thrash metal bands, I've been in hip-hop bands, I've been in funk bands, I've been in punk bands, and genre-wise I'm kind of into a bit of everything. So for me it wasn't too much of a leap, but yeah, I don't know. Craig, what would you say?
Yeah, like you said, the obvious one is that we were a 3-piece and then 1 member left, so we became a 2-piece. But I think, bands like Skinny Hobos, Royal Blood, they're way in advance of us, led the way to the kind of 2-piece thing. But so it's, I guess, musically we have some elements in common with those 2 bands, but we're kind of trying to do it our own weird way. My big thing with music, with drums, is I overplay the crap out of everything. So kind of being in a 2-piece works quite well.
Yeah.
gives me kind of room to do all the crap I like to do. But yeah, it's just kind of worked. We initially thought we might stay a 3-piece as part of the old band, but we started writing songs as a 2-piece, and it just kind of worked. Laura's got all the tech skills to do what she does, to fill up that sound as well.
Sometimes, if like we do have, it's like we use loops and things like that, and sometimes that can go pretty wrong. But I think we've kind of got past that barrier now, and it's pretty solid. Yeah.
People who rely on loops live are pretty brave, because if you loop it slightly out, or the drummer can't hear the length of the loop, everybody can just take off on their own tangent, and it just becomes a bit of a bowl of soup.
Yep. We know this real well.
We've honed those skills of getting through those moments when it happens quite well.
Because if one of us stops, then a lot stops. It's real bad. So it's kind of like the pressure's on as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With the COVID stuff and all, you had to reschedule your EP release show. So could you tell me your progress in that regard?
Yeah, sure. We were supposed to be on a 6-date tour. We're rescheduling it all, but the first one coming up is in Hamilton at the Mesoverse. It's a audio-visual show on the 16th of October. There's going to be projections and crazy stuff. We're very lucky. The Mesoverse is a council-run kind of DIY art space, so it's pretty cool to be doing a gig in there. I think we might be one of the first bands to do a gig in there. You should come check it out.
I can't say I've ever actually heard of that place before, so it definitely must not be a venue per se.
Yeah, pretty much. It's more like a small art space. But
how did you manage to get onto that? What was your connection there?
My partner's a visual artist, and he's quite in with the council here, and the people that sort of do art exhibitions and things like that. So there's art exhibitions going on in there all the time. And I was like, hey, Hamilton's got a notorious lack of spaces at the moment. I don't know if you're aware, but there's no venues. And so, I was just kind of like, hey, this would be real cool to do a show in here. And for a while they were umming and ahhing, and then they had one drum and bass gig that was apparently got a noise complaint, and then they were like, no, we're never going to do gigs in there. And I think I've kind of turned a corner with it, where they're happy to do it. And it is kind of cool because it not being a bar, it means that it can be all ages as well.
Right.
So that's pretty awesome.
Okay, good answer, that one. I'm pleased with that one. You did very well. All right, so although you've just released an EP, are there any more songs to lay down into something beyond the EP? I'm not too sure what your set list is, how many songs you have on the back burner. So could you, give me some idea if you're going to be releasing more stuff?
Yeah, we've definitely got more songs. We haven't begun recording any new ones yet.
Yeah, we kind of recorded 5 tracks originally for the EP, and then we wrote another one that we really liked. So we're like, let's go back and do all of the hard work again and record another track. So we're kind of caught up to where we are in the writing process, but we have 1 or 2 new ones that we're working on. Yeah. I don't think we'll be in a mad hurry to get them recorded and out, but you never know.
Maybe another video probably
would
be the next thing. We've got 2 videos for the 2 singles already, and we sort of were thinking about a 3rd one, but it just didn't eventuate.
Speaking of writing songs, the next question is about your writing process. So I would imagine that the writing process would be relatively simple with 2 people involved, but then again, on the flip side, it could also be a bit of a curse because you've got sort of less input, less brains to pick.
It's pretty easy, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's a fairly organic process. We jam ideas out, we stuff around, we come up with things, and then the actual writing process from coming up with an idea to having a finished song can take months because it's just sort of happens organically as we go. We add sections, we change stuff, we remove bits, we just constantly kind of workshop it can be months at a time before we actually record it. Typically we'll play it a few times and see how it goes as well, see what the reaction is in live shows. Haven't been able to do that for a little while, but yeah, it's fairly straightforward, but a lengthy process, I think.
Yeah. And we're always like jamming heaps of covers. Like always, at our practices we'll just sort of be like, let's do this song as a two-piece or whatever, and just set ourselves ridiculous standards, which kind of helps with our own writing, because then we realize what we can do, and then we're kind of like...
Yeah. Sometimes that creative space when you're butchering someone else's song and something just writes itself.
Yeah.
Something happens like that sometimes. That's quite cool.
I suppose that there would be quite a few limitations with it, with there only being sort of two instruments with the voice over the top of it. I mean,
Well, I wish Craig would start singing more.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Can you actually sing, or?
No, I mean, I kind of know what notes sound like, but it's a masterpiece up here, but by the time it comes out, working on it though. I am trying.
Yeah, samples and loops are probably our biggest savior in terms of like writing ideas, because we can loop it and then sort of try something else over the top.
Have you considered like a more structured backing track kind of in-ears setup, like a metronome, or is that really not your vibe at all?
I personally enjoy just finding the groove. Like when we record, I think recording to click tracks can be kind of a pain in the ass.
But I thought as a two-piece, like you could add, I don't know, backing synths, or you could add sound effects or bass, or all those things you're kind of lacking. Just as a thought, have you considered that? I
did consider it, and then I realised, because I'm a bass player primarily, that I should just make my guitar sound like a bass and just play the bass on a guitar, and then I did that. And then I got a pedal to make it sound like a synth, and that's sort of like, it's more of an organ sound, but yeah, that's going pretty well. That's probably my favourite pedal at the moment, TC Electronics subbing up.
Especially for like a more sort of a rocky band where you're sort of, you're definitely in the moment more, and you're like sort of, I don't know, vibing together, rather than someone sort of just like listening in the background for this doop 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 doop. It does kind of takes all the soul out of it altogether. So yeah,
even just that sound just drives me nuts. I
think we could do it, but we just haven't sort of bothered, because we're kind of like pretty DIY and kind of loose.
It sounds like you don't need it anyway, so yeah, it'd just be like too much effort for what you would get out of it. All right, cool. So is there anything else you'd like me to ask you, or is there anything else you'd like to add at the end? You want to do some shout outs, or?
Shout out to our first fan in Germany. We sold a shirt and a CD to the other day. We're stoked about that. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. And a shout out to everyone that's been listening to the EP and streaming it, and getting on a playlist in the US. That's pretty massive for us. So it's pretty cool.
Just our friends and family for putting up with all our crap while we try and organise tours in the middle of a pandemic, because it's a great idea.
Also, you guys were talking about cassettes.
Yeah, we just thought we'd do like 5 or 10 for us, our mates that wouldn't even listen to them. And we just thought, like, when you release something these days, it's like, do we do a CD or not? We were like, cool, let's do some CDs and tapes, very DIY, like we're dubbing them at home ourselves sort of thing. And they were meant to be for the shows, but we put them on Bandcamp, and it's just gone nuts. Like, it's just crazy. Yeah.
I thought Laura was crazy when she suggested cassette tapes. It's like, come on, it's 2021. No one's buying cassette tapes.
All the hipsters love it, eh?
Yeah, they're selling as well as our CDs are currently.
So how do you feel about the realization that you're a hipster band?
Yeah. Hey, if it sells tapes,
pays the bills. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as people like it, then that's cool with me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much for chatting with me tonight.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much. Catch you later. And thanks for watching.